Darbie ChaulaTV skatītāji, kopā ar jums esmu es, Marija, un šodien mums ir ļoti īpaša diena, jo mums studijā viesojas īpašs viesis no ASV, kura vārds ir Ereli. Un mūsu skatītājiem jau iepriekš bija iespēja sūtīt savus jautājumus mūsu īpašajam viesim Adamam, un gadījumā, ja jūs nepaspējat, tad droši dariet to tagad uz mūsu e-pastu. Un saprotam, iemeslu dēļ intervija būs angļu valodā, jo mūsu viesis latviski nerunā, diemžēl. Un, es domāju, labākais laiks arī pievērsties Adamam. Hello, Adam!
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good, good, thanks.
How do you feel here in ChaulaTV?
Oh, it's fabulous. I mean, I love the graphics. Yeah, I mean, they're not modeled after anybody in particular, are they? Is there some person you had in mind?
I hope no.
No, and I love the green color. In fact, I said I saw this. I saw a picture of this yesterday. And said I think I'll wear an orange tie because it goes with the green, the bright green.
So you prepared for the interview?
I did. That's how I prepared. Just
yeah, that's good.
Color coordination.
Okay. So what is the main purpose of your visit here in Latvia?
A couple of reasons I came here. Number one, I was invited by the embassy.
Yeah.
Number two, it affords us the opportunity to meet with Latvian students, Latvian young people, to talk about ways that we can work with them to give them an American experience in their education, to meet Americans in the United States or virtually through electronic exchanges. It also gives me the opportunity to meet with Latvians who have participated in some of our exchange programs, the Fulbright program, the Humphrey program, the International Visitor Leadership program, who have gone to the United States and who have studied or worked on issues of interest to both our countries, whether it be minority rights, the rights for gay and lesbians, NGO activism, investigative journalism, HIV/AIDS, and they've come back here and find out what they've done with their experience in the United States, and it's really fascinating because what you see is an incredible amount of energy in Latvia, and then when you match that energy with Americans and American organizations and American groups, a lot of very innovative and exciting things are produced as a result. And so this visit affords me the opportunity to get to know what's happening in Latvia as a result of the exchange experience that Latvians have had with the United States.
Have you already met any one of those students?
Oh yeah, I've met tons. Tons. Yesterday at the Riga Business School, we had a group of about 50 or 60 high school students who talked to a class in Middlebury College, Vermont, about studying in the United States and about how to apply to college and about what classes in the United States were like. I met with a group of alumni last night at the Kim's Art Center. Do you know that center?
I have heard about that.
Yeah, it's a great place. It was started by a woman who studied in the United States under the Fulbright Scholarship Program.
Yeah.
And she brought together a group of other alumni who participated in different programs, and we just talked about some of the things I mentioned. Today I will be meeting with a bunch of civil society leaders and internet people, social media people, and I'll be participating in two virtual exchanges, one between the United States, between students here and American University in Washington, and another between people in the embassy and people out in, I can't say the name of it, Draugulvils.
Okay.
What's the name? What's that name of the university?
Try one more time.
It's where it's where Mark Rothko was born.
Daugavpils.
Daugavpils.
Yeah, it's Daugavpils.
Daugavpils.
Yeah.
So we'll be participating in a virtual exchange with those students. So, in person, I'm meeting about 60 to 70 people, but virtually, I'm meeting about 300 or 400.
Oh, that's a lot.
So it's, it gives you a sense of a very small sense of what the Latvian people are thinking.
How long are you staying here? I think you have really lot of things to do.
A lot of things to do in a short amount of time. I got here about 1 o'clock yesterday, and I'm leaving at about 5 o'clock today.
Oh, really?
So a day and a half, which is not enough, I know.
Such a long flight just for 2 days.
Well, I'm going to St. Petersburg from here.
Yeah.
and then from they'll be there for a couple days, and then to Stockholm. And the whole trip started off with Stockholm because they are celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Fulbright exchange program, and obviously that's the program that my department, the State Department, handles. So they invited me for the 60th anniversary, and I said, well, where else can I go? And I'd never been to Latvia, and there was an interest in again, my coming and being able to meet with our partners here, and so that's what brings me here today. And then I've got to, say, our embassy said, oh, can you do an interview with ChaulaTV? Because they're like this very innovative and hip and cool outfit. And I said, well, yeah, sure, great. And so that's what brings me here today.
Thank you for coming. And what are your first impressions about Latvia? Do you like it?
Well, yes, I love it. And I was meeting with the Minister of Education this morning, and I said, look, I've only been here for like, what? Maybe 20 hours, 18 hours, and I've never been here before, so, I'm not an expert on Latvia by any means, but the one word that comes to mind when when people say, how do you think of Latvia, is dynamic. I mean, it's incredibly dynamic. There's so much going on, and what I really like about Latvia is it's very forward-looking.
Yes, we try to.
You're looking ahead, and past history is past history. Great, whatever. But your focus is on the future, and it's an exciting atmosphere.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that's just Riga. My experience with Latvia is about 10 square blocks, of the city. So
that's enough.
Okay.
No,
I shouldn't go to Dragobils University?
Daugavpils. You should, but Riga is a pretty nice place.
Yes.
So yeah, it's these were like introducing questions, so we get in touch and get to know each other. And so I have written down the full name of your profession.
Yeah, I don't know if you have time to read it.
Yeah, I will read it. It got like a lot of words. You are the Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Educational and Cultural Affairs. Just explain me, who are you really?
Who am I? I'm a bureaucrat.
Okay, that's enough.
No, I'm just kidding. So what my office in the State Department does is manage all of the United States' educational and cultural exchange programs overseas. So we have a budget of about $650 million and a staff of about 500. And our area of responsibility is the entire world. And what we do is we run the exchange programs. So all the scholarships you've heard about, the Fulbright Scholarship, the Benjamin Franklin Scholarship, the Humphrey Scholarship, which brings foreigners to the United States to study. We also do English language training around the world. We do art and cultural programs around the world, sports exchanges. If you think of a Ministry of Culture, the United States doesn't have a Ministry of Culture.
You don't?
No, we don't. We don't have a Ministry of Culture. We don't really have a Ministry of Higher Education the way other countries do. It's all decentralized. So the only thing the federal government does in terms of promoting culture and arts overseas and exchanges is my department. And we call it public diplomacy as opposed to traditional diplomacy. It's diplomacy with publics. And I think that explains it. Does that make sense?
It does. It really does.
Okay.
So you're doing a really good job, I would say.
Oh, thank you.
Because I love traveling, and these programs, I think they're great. And additional question for that, which is the most popular country from which students come to America? Can you name it?
Oh, well, the country, you mean what country? Most of the foreign students in the United States?
Students, yeah.
Most of the foreign students in the United States, where do they come from?
Yeah.
1 in 4 foreign students in the United States, or 25%, are Chinese.
I was thinking about that. I thought so.
There are, and I'll put it another way, there are about 750,000 foreign students in the United States.
That's a lot.
It's basically the population of Riga, a little bit bigger than the population of Riga. 1 in 4 of those people, or, 160,000 or so are from China. And then the other countries are India, South Korea. South Korea has a lot of students in the United States. Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
Saudi
really?
Arabia has 40,000 students in the United States. All of them paid for by the government of Saudi Arabia.
That's good.
When you get oil, that's what you get to do.
So, if I'm living in Latvia and I would like to participate in one of your programs,
yes.
could you tell me more about these programs I can participate in
well,
as a Latvian?
Sure. Obviously, the best place to go is on the internet. Go to the website of the embassy, which is, I think, usembassy.riga.org, or just Google it and you'll find it. Or the State Department, exchanges.state.gov. And you can see all the programs that are there. But, you know, starting at the high school level, you know, ages 16 to 18, basically, there's the Benjamin Franklin program, which sends kids to the United States for about 3 weeks. And it's a leadership training program where you go to, you know, you meet American kids, you go to travel around the United States, you live a little bit with American family. And it just offers the kids an opportunity to experience America and have contacts with American kids, and maybe, you know, set up a relationship that will last for a lifetime, frankly. There's another program that's really good that isn't funded by the U.S. government, that's funded by the students pay for,
Yeah.
but you get an exchange visitor visa. So you're, it's not,
I understand.
and these two programs are the high school exchange program, where you go live with an American family and stay and go to an American high school for a year, and that's a really great program. And there are about 25,000 kids a year from all over the world that participate in this program. I don't know how many from Latvia, but and then there's the summer work travel program, where university students in their break can go work in the United States during their break, earn money, and then travel around the United States. So, but both those programs, you work with a local sponsor who you pay to. But for the U.S. government programs, you've got the Benjamin Franklin program. For college students, you have the Fulbright Scholar program. You've got after you graduate from college, there's with the Baltic American Freedom Foundation, there are internships you can do. There are also summer institutes that we send college students to, which are around a certain topic, whether it be American foreign policy or federalism, or I think we've got civil society. So all these opportunities are done, you know, we send out messages from the embassy letting schools know about these programs and inviting students to apply. And then we select them through a pretty careful process based on either based on an interview, based on sometimes they do an essay contest.
Oh, yes.
So it's not first come, first serve. We choose students both at the high school and the college level who we think are going to use this exchange experience for the benefit of their country.
Yeah.
You know, we're not investing in these kids just to give them a good time.
Yeah, that's a good thing to know for our viewers, actually.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this isn't like a free trip to the States. We're investing, you know, the reason the United States government is paying for these programs is to help Latvia develop in the way that Latvia wants to develop, economically, socially, politically, and to build bridges and ties of understanding that will last longer than the exchange experience itself, the 3 weeks there in the United States. So we want somebody who is going to go on this, who's going to come back energized, excited, and do something with what they learned in the United States. Like, you know, I was telling somebody earlier today, I mean, there was one person who went to the United States on a program, a 3-week program on rights of minorities. And this person was a homosexual, Latvian.
Yeah, I see.
And, you know, homosexuals here are a minority.
Yes.
Okay. They sometimes feel like they don't have the same rights as everybody else because they're discriminated against and they're looked down on them.
Yeah.
And so he learned about civic activism in the United States on this program, just for anybody, whether you're black or Hispanic or disabled or whatever your difference is. How do you get society to recognize you as an equal citizen with equal rights and deserving of equal respect?
Yeah.
So he came back here with what he learned in the United States, and he became he used what he learned in the United States to help make Latvia a better place. And what did he do? He organized a gay pride parade.
It was him, really, because before that we didn't have any parades.
Right, right. Not just him and others.
Yeah, okay,
I mean, it's not just one person, but and he has helped change public perceptions, change the terms of public debate in a way that obviously helps, you know, gays and lesbians, but also helps the entire country. Because now what's going to happen? In 2015, Latvia will host Europride, which is the big, you know, pride festival. That means big bucks for Latvia. So you should thank this guy, not just for fighting for the rights of Latvian citizens, but for putting Latvia on the map of Europe in a way it wasn't before.
Yeah,
and bringing lots of money to Latvia.
Yeah, that's good. That's a great point. So all in all, we can make a summary of that, what you said, that it's a really big opportunity for us to make our name bigger, like Latvia in the world.
Exactly, exactly.
Oh, it sounds really great. I will think about it. Maybe I will participate in your program.
Well, you know, and look, I will tell you, sort of, you know, we're also very interested in what people like you in ChaulaTV are doing, which is innovative social media and how to, frankly, communicate and connect to people in the digital age.
Yes.
And a lot of our exchange programs deal with that issue. And, you know, frankly, now it's not just enough to be to be an activist, to be a change agent in a society, whether you're in the United States or in Latvia or wherever. You've got to have two things, I think. One is you've got to have, you know, passion about an issue, whatever that issue is, and, you know, an idea of, okay, where do you want to go or where do you want to take things. But also you have to have a understanding of social media in a way that people didn't have to understand before, because you can't get there without social media, without these platforms that communicate and connect to people and that people use to communicate and connect, and therefore it's just like speech. You know, you can't persuade anybody if you can't talk. Social media now is like speech. You have to speak that language and use it in order to connect and persuade. And so in everything that we do at the U.S. Embassy and with the State Department and well, the State Department, in our relations overseas, social media, the internet, virtual platforms are part of it.
Yeah. It's a really interesting theme to talk about. So before the interview, our guest, Adam, said that his favorite singer is Lady Gaga.
Yes, one of my favorite singers.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got lots, but she's cool.
She's cool.
And she was in Riga. I didn't realize she was in Riga.
Yes, she was. In
Man alive.
Yeah. And I think we are ready to go to a musical pause, maybe.
Okay.
And let's listen to Lady Gaga. And I think we prepared the song "Born This Way." Is it
Born This Way? Yeah.
It's your favorite one? I think so.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's listen to it. So I promised to read out loud the feedback from one of your programs. So one of the students participating in that wrote us, and I will read it just for you. I took part in an amazing program, Benjamin Franklin Transatlantic Fellows Summer Institute. This program changed my view on the world and expanded my horizons. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. For now, this is the only American youth program for Latvian youth to apply. as the student says. And the question is, does the Department of State plan to create or fund more of these programs?
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know that we'll fund that many more, and I'll tell you why. Because, well, as most of the people watching this program know, not just in Latvia but around the world, government budgets are shrinking, right? Yeah. So there's not going to be a lot more. There's not going to be a lot more money for exchanges. In fact, if we can just keep the money we have, we'll be doing a good job. But like I said, I mean, earlier in the show, what we're trying to do is we'll continue funding people to go to the United States to have an experience, because nothing can replace that. There's just, you know, you got to see it to believe it. But we recognize that there's a desire for interaction with Americans. And so we're going to try to do more to meet that need virtually. So for example, today, we're launching 2 new programs, and you can, again, participate in them virtually. One is the virtual Meet America program, where people from the embassy are going to be talking to students around the country about studying in America, life in America, opportunities to go to America, both private and funded by the US government. And then we're going to have another virtual student exchange between students in Latvia and students at the American University in Washington. And these 2 programs, the virtual Meet America and the virtual student exchange, we'll be doing every couple of months. Oh. So there are ways to watch them online. There are, you know, if you're watching in a, you know, any town in Latvia, just send an email to Amy Storo at the US Embassy and say you want to participate, and we'll look to set up something with you guys.
Oh, that's a great, really great thing.
So like I said, what we're trying to do is find ways to increase the opportunity to have an experience with America without necessarily having to pay people to go to America. Yeah. And I know everybody wants to go to America, but you know,
not that anyone can.
You know, anyone can, sure. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go, you can go. So I don't think you don't need a visa. I don't think.
We need
for a visiting visa.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh well.
America's really strict about that, right?
Well, it's bilateral. It's bilateral. It's whatever they ask of us, we ask of them.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I'm sure it's easy to get a visa to go to the United States, and you know, we welcome you. And like I said, there are these other private programs, the high school exchange and the summer work travel, which, you know, people have great experiences on. I mean, I've talked to kids who've worked in amusement parks, in restaurants, in ski resorts, as lifeguards at the pool, and they get paid for it. And then
in America,
in America, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they get paid for it. And then what they earn in 3 months, they spend the last month traveling around, you know, and.
But I think that it's not actually legal to work in America.
Yes, it is. This program, the summer work travel, it allows you to work.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's a J1 visa.
I want to go there.
It's, well, yeah, you should. And there are Latvians who participate in the
really
summer work travel program.
I will think about it. And what are your future plans for international projects? Do you have like a vision of what will happen in a few years?
Yeah. It's interesting. We're focusing a lot on English language learning, because I would suggest to you that, you know, or I like to say, English is the indispensable skill for success in the 21st century. You know, whether you're in business, whether you're in media, whether you're in whatever field, if you don't speak English, you're at a competitive disadvantage. Yeah. And so, you know, for us, English language is frankly is a tool for economic and social empowerment. People who learn English have opportunities that people who don't, opportunities for themselves to grow, to learn, to succeed, that they wouldn't have. They didn't. So for us, if the United States is interested in helping countries develop and strengthening their human capital development, then we need to help people learn English. So 4 to 5 years from now, if we can use our resources, and this is difficult, to expand the opportunities for people to learn English and the abilities of people to learn English, I'll be very satisfied. Another area that I would say, we're focusing heavily on, and Riga is certainly an example of this, is the youth demographic. Our interest in the United States is to help promote peaceful change and both economic and social ties that improve the lives of people in the United States and people overseas. The key to that is what I call the youth demographic, the 18 to 25 to 30-year-olds. If you can engage them in a positive way, and there are a lot of influences fighting for their attention and their future. Some of them aren't necessarily positive influences. Particularly in countries where you've got poverty or repression or autocracy, or where the modern and the traditional are in conflict, like Afghanistan. So reaching this target audience, this demographic, is critical to the positive development and the positive future of these countries, and for international stability, frankly. So we're going to be, we are focusing increasingly on youth and women. Women are a huge priority for us.
Oh, really?
Look, let's say women are, well, a couple of things. One is, women are 50% of the world's population. Yes. No countries can succeed and can grow if 50% of their population isn't educated, employed, contributing to the nation. Now, again, it's not an issue in Latvia, but it is an issue in a lot of other places.
Yeah.
And so the empowerment of women, economic empowerment, academic empowerment, political empowerment, is a huge issue for us. Again, it is critical to those countries growing. It is critical to those countries having a stable, prosperous future, and therefore it is in the U.S. national interest to help promote this. So, for example, we're doing a lot of empowerment programs in South and Central Asia, in Africa, in the Middle East, with great results. I mean, we're seeing, we saw a woman from Yemen win the Nobel Prize last year. We're seeing women become president of Liberia who, participated in some of our programs. So, and I meet women all the time. I just came from Kuwait, where I met, rights of women are not what they should be. But, I met young women in high school who did a high school exchange program in the United States, or just learned English with Americans.
Yeah.
And, she said, I finished this program and I felt confident in myself. I felt like I could talk and be a real person. And, well, that's great. I mean, but that tells you how far we have to go.
Yeah.
If the alternative to being a real person is just to being a nobody. So empowerment of women, English teaching, that's really where I think we've got to help the world develop and be a better place.
That's just a great thing you told now. I'm not thinking about it all the time. Yeah, that's really about that Kuwait girl. That's amazing. Feeling like a person, that's just something.
I was like, and this was amazing. I mean, most Kuwaiti, you go to Kuwait and the girls are all in black and whatever. So this girl, I saw her when I walked into the room, and she had on a bright pink dress, big hair all the way out to here, bright orange glasses, and then she had braces. You know what braces are? And you have rubber bands in your braces?
I know.
Her rubber bands were turquoise, color turquoise. And it's like, wow, who is this? And this is the girl who said, I never knew how to talk to, You know, I could never, because they have their education system, all the girls study together separate from boys.
Yeah, I know.
So they don't know how to talk to boys, and if you talk to a boy, it's like somehow you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And you know, in the English class that we do, we put boys and girls together. They have to do what do you call it? Exercises, English language exercises. They have to talk to each other, and you know, that's like completely new to them.
That's amazing opportunity for them, actually.
It is. I mean, it's like, you know, it offers them an opportunity that they wouldn't otherwise have.
Yeah.
Which to us seems so like natural.
Like everyday
Yeah. Not in a lot of the rest of the world. It's not like that.
That's amazing. You made me thinking about it. Have you ever?
And oh, by the way, you know, Pakistan, Afghanistan, it's 10 times worse.
Oh, really?
Oh my God! You heard the story about the 14-year-old girl who was shot because she said she wanted to go to school, and she insisted that it's the right of girls to go to school, and the Taliban tried to kill her and put a bullet in her head.
She was actually shot because she was brave to say that loud. That's amazing.
Yusufa Malala is her name.
I haven't heard about that.
Oh my God! It was a huge story in the United States. Huge story. She went to England. They had to take her to England to get brain surgery. So she'll live. But guess what? Her father came to the United States on an exchange program.
Really?
On civic activism. And he taught his daughter that she deserved to be a person the way anybody else, and she deserved an education. And then, you know, it seems pretty straightforward, pretty obvious to you and me.
Yeah.
But there were enough people in Pakistan who didn't like that they shot a 14-year-old girl on her way to school because she was going to school.
That's really unbelievable, actually, for me as a European.
Oh yeah, well.
Yeah. So I think we don't have to talk about the bad sides of that.
Yeah, let's talk about something cheerful.
Let's talk about something positive.
Okay.
So have you ever participated in exchange programs as a youngster?
Well, no, I didn't. But I did do something, you know, how should I put it? Well, I didn't have the opportunity with any government, but when I was in high school, it was interesting. I was thinking about it on this trip. Because on this trip I'm going, I think I mentioned I'm going to Riga, St. Petersburg, and Stockholm. And I was thinking about it when I was in high school, and I shouldn't tell you this because it makes me feel really old, but I graduated from high school in 1979.
Oh!
Yeah, that's old.
Not that old.
Yeah, well, it could be worse. It will be worse. But anyway, and my high school organized a trip for some students to the Soviet Union in 1979. So I went on this trip with and I was thinking about it now because I was thinking, you know, it was in January 1979. So
Russian winter.
We went to Moscow and St. Petersburg and Baku and Yerevan and Tbilisi.
Did you like it?
Well, yeah, I did. I mean, it was, you know, it's like the story that you read from the Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
You know, it changed my life. I mean, it changed my view of the world. I mean, obviously I'd read about the Soviet Union, but, you know, seeing it and experiencing
it's a completely different place from America. It's completely.
Oh, yeah. Still is. I mean, but in a different way. But, you know, look, Mexico is next to America, and it's a completely different place than America. Canada, it's the same. I mean, in the United States, you go from the West Coast to the East Coast, and you're in two different countries. You feel like it sometimes.
Yeah.
Or you go from a red state to a blue state, and you feel like you're in two different countries. But anyway, you know, I would tell you that, and maybe this is one of the reasons I'm in the business that I'm in, is that international exchange experience, if you have it, it changes you in ways you both see and do not see. And, you know, for example, I was thinking it's 79 to 2009 is 30 years, to 2012 is 33 years. So it's 33 years ago, this trip, that I was in this part of the world for the first time. you know, it's a totally different part of the world. And, you know, it's very interesting. I was at the foreign ministry today. You want to make this light and happy, and I keep dragging it down to sort of the serious. But I was talking to a senior official at the foreign ministry today who, we were talking about education, we were talking about Latvia and everything, and he said, you know, how different life in Latvia is now from when he graduated from university. And I said, did you graduate? Because he looked really young. He looked really young. And he graduated the year the Soviets left. And he said his kids, his children, have no memory of the Soviet Union or of Latvia as anything but a free country.
Yes, it's like me, actually.
Like you,
yeah.
Exactly. And so, you know, I'm fortunate enough to have been born and lived in a world where you can see this huge change. So I guess the question for you is, and it'll be interesting because, you know, 30 years from now, when you're talking to somebody, when you're sitting here and you're talking to somebody like that, they're going to be asking you, they're going to be, you will be thinking back to when you were sitting in that chair and you said, there's no way I could have possibly imagined what the world would be like now, 30 years from now. I can't imagine what it's going to be like. First of all, there probably won't be a studio like this. It'll all be, I have no idea. But I guess, you know, my point is that if you are going to be able to understand and change with the times, then you have to have an international experience. You can't just stay in one place.
Yeah.
You know, and I go back to my hometown and I see people who have never left, and I just go, you
missed a lot, actually.
Yeah, you've got just no clue about the rest of the world. And it's, I don't know, that's what I find depressing.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, actually, because I love traveling and I know what are you talking about. And I believe that after 20, 30 years, it'll be a completely different thing. Like the world, the whole thing. Yeah, it's like really deep things we're talking about, actually.
Yeah.
Like it makes me thinking about, I will go home and then, oh my God, my life is so short. I have to do so many things.
There you go. Yeah. Time is limited. You only have today and tomorrow. You don't even have tomorrow.
No, don't say that.
You don't know you have tomorrow.
Which countries have you visited, actually? Like
in my life?
Yes.
Oh.
Is it 50% of the world? At least?
Probably not.
Oh.
No, probably not. It's most of the Middle East, most of Latin America, most of Europe, not Central Europe, a lot of Asia, actually. Well, because in the State Department, look, I mean, in Asia we did 8 countries in 10 days.
Oh my God.
So, you know, and that includes the 24 hours on either end to get there. Yeah, I mean, senior officials in the State Department, when they travel, in a week for 7 days, they've got to go to more than 7 countries. They usually go to. One time when I was in Bahrain, and I was the ambassador there, Secretary Clinton came, and she woke up in Uzbekistan. She flew to Tajikistan. She flew to then she did a meeting. She flew to Kyrgyzstan, and then she came to Bahrain at night. So in one day she did 4 countries.
That's just.
You can cover a lot of ground that way.
Yeah.
But it's tiring.
I can believe that. Like you just get tired from going all around.
Yeah, you don't know what day it is. You don't know what hour of the day it is. What time it is. You're just like, it's just like coffee and adrenaline. But you talk about international travel. That's what international travel is. It's not glamorous.
Yes, it's not.
It's this we had our own plane. We didn't have to do airports. We just drove up the plane, got in the plane. People took our luggage. In most cases, it's tiring and it's hard work. You got to go to airports. You got to go through all the security. You got to get your luggage. It's a pain. If you do it all the time, it really is a pain. The good part is, once you arrive, but coming and going is hard.
I can believe that. Actually, our time is up, Adam.
Okay,
for today.
I'm sorry.
No, the interview was really awesome. I really enjoyed the time with you.
Thank you.
But I get just one last question for you. What can you tell for all the students in Latvia, for all the students all over the world? What can you wish them? Maybe as a wise man right now, you have something to tell.
Well, I'm not that wise.
Like young and stupid still. What can you say? Nothing to say.
I would say be humble.
Oh, that's it.
Well, there's a lot to it. Be humble means don't assume you know very much. Be curious and try to learn, and yeah, learn from others, both good and bad.
It's a good suggestion, actually.
I mean, and I would also say, look, life is a continuous learning process. I mean, you say you're wise. Well, I'm not wise. I'm still learning. I'm still asking questions. I'm still curious, and I'm still very willing to admit what I don't know and I don't understand. You know, I think people make the biggest mistakes when they think they know more than they know. So anyway.
Still wise words, actually. Okay, thank you very much for coming.
All right, Maria,
I really
thank you so much.
Time with you.
Enjoyed it.
I hope to see you here maybe after 10 years.
Yes,
maybe.
it'll be a different country, I'm sure.
But our viewers can still watch one more video with a Latvian student which participated in your program. So let's just see it.